guess we're back. I'm hoping. Welcome back to Trappist Transfer, where we just left off what seems like a power failure, at least in the location you are. Question mark from there. So Charlie definitely goes like, if this is
it like dark in the room, Rain?
It is pretty dark. Some red, some low light LEDs like kick on, right? So you're definitely like an emergency power look like at the moment. Charlie is just like continually like swearing to himself at this point, like fuck, and just goes like, we need to get to the positions around the ship. If this is like a large scale like outage, it's possible that like this could lead to data corruption in the mainframe, like in the hold. This could be like, as you can already feel, like gravity decreasing the ship, like as like the spin of the ship is being affected right now. Seems like we're doing this. We got to do this now.
Battle stations.
Yeah, I would say like Charlie goes like, I need somebody to stay here. I need somebody to come with me. I need somebody to go check out. Well, let me check my notes.
Is this like espionage from inside the ship? Like, is this something that should be happening right now?
Hell no.
Did somebody make this happen because I knew we were trying to fix the situation? I'm very paranoid.
Wow.
I have an 80 in conspiracies, guys.
You're very paranoid. Yes. I like it.
Paranoia is fantastic for plotline progression. So.
I know. Tell me more. I'm really gullible.
So what I believe is that somebody in this room.
No.
But I need somebody.
Pastor suddenly gets really concerned.
I need somebody to head to the reactor and see if they can possibly repair what's going on, or at least get more juice going through.
That might be a good job for me.
Yeah. And I need somebody to head to the core for the hold and see if there's any way that we can potentially like reroute processing power, or at least like try to stop any data loss.
I have a 70 for network engineering, so that's probably my job.
I don't care where y'all go. Just figure it out. I need to go now. Who's coming with me?
I'm heading for the core.
Okay. We got the reactor.
I'll stay here.
Somebody here in Astrometrics. You're going to the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'll stay here as long as I can use my research to figure out what's happening in this room, because that's the only thing that I'm successful at.
Actually, mine would not be with the hardware, but I think I'd be more likely to survive it. But I think I'm more of a software guy than a hardware guy. Should I stay in Astrometrics?
There's probably software issues.
Okay.
It's Charlie. There's probably something, and you're more than correct. And the body you're currently in is not going to be as affected by.
You don't want to meet suit next to a reactor that's having software issues.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I have piloting and electronics, so I feel like the bridge is a good place for me.
Hey.
Also, like I don't know,
pilot.
That's my pilot. You also sort of feel there's a level of like you're in P.O.L X's body now, right? There's an element of like, oh, maybe it's nice to kind of head to, I don't know, like the driving, like,
right?
I don't know.
That's true. That's fair.
Just a little spot,
and maybe a place where I can actually communicate with P.O.L X.
At least on a teletype.
Yeah, that's enough. Listen, I'm feeling a little bit of like separation anxiety.
Yeah,
like we're having a problem.
I think this all worked out organically or inorganically. Sorry, Mark.
With my program research,
robot jokes.
I know. And network engineer.
Let's use inclusionary language, please. Inclusive. Let's get inclusive with this shit.
What do you suggest? Get back to me.
Yeah. Sorry, you put me on the spot.
I have program.
All right, so bridge is going to take a little bit for y'all to get there, so I'm going to like pause on you for a little bit.
Cool.
You can, because you're Astrometrics, the core. Actually,
how close is Astrometrics to the computer core?
Relatively close. So it's a few decks, sort of like inwards from where you are right now. Yeah. But you can get there relatively fast.
I'm real good at moving.
Yeah.
At least I don't think that's what kinesics means, but
no, it is. Kinesthetics or kinesics?
No, kinesics I feel like was something completely different than what I thought it was.
It's not at all anything like kinetic. It's something else.
I feel like it's like
more
for fighting.
like being able to read body language.
Oh, okay, check it out and get back to me. You're saying astrometrics. I'm going to say for you right now, like you're expected to sort of communicate once things come back up a little bit. And I'd say there are some lower power computer readouts. It's certainly not supporting the hollow system right now, but you've got at least some there's like some protected systems, right, that are designed to be shielded against these kind of things, like for at least like knowing where the ship is and where the ship's going.
Right.
And those are certainly like, it seems
telemetry?
Telemetry. Perfect.
You got a word right.
You scienced that.
I scienced that shit hard, guys.
So proud of you.
Yay, telemetry.
So yeah, you can research some telemetry, but basically you know that you're gonna have to talk to Charlie and Castor about like what path to accurately take pretty soon in order to avoid because as discussed in this next hour is kind of when we're looking to get the optimum course correction in order to avoid things.
Okay.
So you're hanging out here for now basically until something comes up.
Okay. I'm chilling.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'm ready. Comes through having your essential oils.
Yes.
Lubing up.
Lubing up.
Yeah, safety first.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are on your way, and I would say like both you and Penelope are sort of like heading the same direction right now, right? The computer core, and the reactor are actually like sort of side by side or near each other.
Oh my god, are you just gonna go delete people?
They're not right next to each other, but they're nearby, right? Like it's they're in this similar section of the ship, but they're by no means adjoined, shall we say? Better? That's what I was meaning. So we talked about that last time in terms of them being shielded, right? Because you don't want like any issue of the reactor or the mainframe having like any radiation. Admittedly, the core is well shielded and the mainframe is shielded as well. You still don't want to mess with anything like neutrinos that might be popping out of this that could screw with things from time to time.
I want neutrino.
I'm hoping for a good
Neutrinos are having
tachyon
constantly
shower.
anyway. We're trying to reduce like particular tachyon shower. Anyway,
I just said that to Bobby.
Is that a
trademark.
is that a deviance for robotic suits?
Ooh, yeah.
I like that.
You're just like, just taking all the tachyons. Oh, it's so good. Just
Tachyon me, babe.
so tacky. So tacky.
Oh, wow.
And we just lost every viewer we maybe had. 2, 3.
Or we got 5 new ones.
Yeah, it's true. Those who are Googling tachyon fetish right now are in. Can we add that hashtag to Trappist transfer? Hashtag tachyon fetish.
Somebody's Googling that shit
Excellent.
somewhere.
I'm enjoying that.
What's that law or rule that if you can think about it, somebody's fetishized it?
Yeah, if you can
Rule
think of it, it's
34.
Yeah, and they probably have a better name for it too.
There's a better one, yeah.
Somebody named that shit.
Excuse me, we call it high-powered particle preference? I don't know, something.
Particle preference.
HPPPP. I don't know. Enjoy those oils. So you were heading up towards the bridge. You kind of like at this point you're staying still. You're basically going forward on the ship. Y'all are going more aft than where you currently are, and it takes you a bit to kind of head that way.
Yeah, I'm kind of an aft man.
I'm done.
That was. I want to be mad at you, but
one of these sessions, Penelope
everybody
is just gonna load herself into like the nearest like ejection pod and just be like, I'm out.
I'm done with humanity.
Goodbye.
Yeah, just pulls the plug on it.
My people need me.
It's just gonna be me and P.O.L X from now on.
Yeah, she would probably more pull the plug on other people than herself.
Wow. Dark.
Says the person who's going to the mainframe right now, so keep that in mind. Anyway.
Right on.
Yeah, my character's the only
Also,
serial
she's
killer
so
that still
very
exists in humanity.
Mm.
I'm just kidding.
Nice.
Yeah, just, info.
Info indeed. All right, so as you are, specifically Comms 3 and Penelope, as you're heading back, you are making it through like various, segments of the ship, like the where you are in the sort of like cylinder, right? There, you're going through like chunks. There's doorways as you head through. Like that the ship is very modularized in a lot of ways, and especially for like redundant features. But as you were getting redundancies, as you were getting closer to the sort of engineering section of the ship, you enter into sort of like a foyer is a wrong term for it, but it's like the entrance into that section, engineering section, where there is like a bunch of different suits that are on the wall for different things. If you need to like deal with hazmat, cleanup, radiation suits, things along those lines. And in here, you see an assortment of maintenance robots, not unlike yourself, right? A few like that have like specialized attachments for different things, but you see them kind of erratically moving around the room from your perspective. Like being a maintenance bot, knowing that you were like what we described last time, sort of like overriding the normal functions of the maintenance bot.
I'm going to hack some bots.
Well, you should say that.
Rise the bot army.
So
I want to make a robot centipede.
Not down.
No, we're not doing that.
I hate you.
Get out.
I reject.
So you now find yourself alone, Penelope, as one robot has just mysteriously disappeared from the game.
Robotic dentata?
Jesus. Wow.
You got Bill so hard.
That went way further than I was expecting it
That
to
escalated
go.
really
Like,
quickly.
real fast.
You don't go
Escalate.
tusk with it. I'm fine.
Robot centipede?
Robot centipede to robot, like...
It's like the same level.
No. Robot...
Vagina dentata is a very natural occurrence. The other one is not natural, right? Nobody like sewed teeth into that girl. Like she just grew them.
But I was also just thinking
I'm not saying
a
it's
robot
real.
with
I'm saying if we can't compare the two.
I was like, whoa, is this...
No.
I was just like, robot with teeth is way worse than like centipede robot.
That's fucking terrifying.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Vagina dentata, everybody.
Well, we know what the episode title is going to be.
Oh god.
You guys came back for like 15 minutes, dropped Robot Dentata, and then just went offline, and we're like, it got weird.
It got weird.
That's when the stream fails for us. Maybe, honestly, maybe it's good that the sun is trying to kill you.
Yes,
I'm not making any judgment.
Just gonna
Come
give
on,
in.
the human race
Will, I
has
don't
really
know.
had it coming.
Listen, we're just gonna lean into this, is what we're doing.
Penelope
You've seen
just
Doctor Who.
flushes everyone that's not in her income bracket. Like,
So everybody,
bye.
nobody's in your income bracket. 1%.
I mean, we're slightly post-scarcity, so there are a fair amount of people in our income bracket.
Anyway, so you see these robots acting erratically, and I would say I want you to make a...
InfoSec?
Yeah, I'm gonna say infosec as you kind of like I'll describe it based on your result.
All right. My target number was 80. I got 43.
Nice. So you, as you sort of like enter the area, you're aware of, and as you have been, right, in terms of like what's on your HUD, right, you're aware of local networks. And certainly what you've noticed since the power outage, right, or the whatever is happening, is that there's no large scale networks in the ship, right? Everything is all sort of like it seems far more localized, perhaps. Like you're dealing with like Bluetooth basically as opposed to Wi-Fi, right?
Micronets.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of micronets that are happening, and as you enter into this room, you're aware of the sort of like local micronet as some of those commands are trying to go through you, but you are the overriding like program in your system. But you, from that role, actually, you got a little extra insight into this. There's no explicit command, but you basically recognize that these maintenance robots are in a for lack of a better term, deep oven cleaning setting, which is sterilize everything. Like everything is just needs to be like taken care of and like moved out and eliminated.
Sturdy. It's still dirty.
Yeah, exactly. And you are also aware that since you are showing up as a slightly different signature in the system, these erratic bots are now like basically targeting both you and Penelope as
Yeah, this definitely seems like espionage.
targeting you and Penelope as things that are need to be removed from the environment.
I'm being targeted?
Yep.
Fuck.
So yeah, we're gonna deal with that in a minute. You and the captain, Charlie, are like heading, forward in the ship. And you run across a similar group of maintenance bots. And you walk by them unmolested. Things are fine. And both of you roll initiative and see how this goes.
What's initiative again?
And how do you roll initiative with a
Your
Or is it
initiative's next
just-
to your lucidity.
Yep, you should just have that
So it's
already.
a
It's a
6.
6.
Perfect. So you roll a d6 and then add that in there.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, as we're doing this,
Evie, would you mind keeping track on that board for me?
kinesics is the art of empathy and nonverbal communication.
Oh, yeah, so it's body language and stuff.
Use
that's like
kinesics to read somebody's emotional state, gauge their intentions, detect lies, identify mannerisms and tells, and use body language to emote and convey information. So Penelope is really good at kinesics, but also and kinesics opposes deceive, and Penelope is really good at both. So she's like, hey, you believe everything I say, and all of that.
I like that.
And I can tell when you're lying.
I have a really high deceive. But I also have to roll a will check to lie.
How high is your deceive?
Oh, it's
That's not good.
meta talk right now.
Yeah.
So what did you roll?
I got an 11.
You got an 11 total?
Yeah.
Cool. And Penelope, what would you get?
8.
Okay. So maintenance robots first, then comms 3, then Penelope. So,
I'm forgetting what some of my skills do.
Maintenance robot, then
then comms 3, then
comes
Penelope.
Frey is your attack one, I think.
Yeah, but I have situational awareness, which gives me bonusy things.
Bonusy things.
Which one's the defend one that you roll?
So it depends on whether you're being attacked with hand-to-hand or ranged.
Mm-hmm.
So your melee skill is also your defense skill for that, and then Frey is for ranged. Or you could also do I think Frey for melee attacks as well. It's kind of whatever your choice is. I believe.
are all the maintenance robots one?
Yes, there's all the
great.
the same. There are 3 of them in this room that you see. Are you checking some?
Yeah, I'm not good at being distracted, and basically I'm not good at being distracted.
Cool.
I'm not good at anything.
You are not currently distracted, so don't worry about it. You were well aware of what's happening to you. What's about to...
I don't want to fight a maintenance bot.
Well, then don't.
Well, you got a gun arm.
There's no gun in the air.
You do not
I
have...
said it was a cannon.
You do not have weapons.
Was it not cannon?
That was not canon.
Oh, that was loud. Sorry.
Cool. Oh, and... Nice. So you see very quickly, of the 3 of them, they kind of start advancing towards you. But in the room, there are, like I said, multiple hanging suits and supply lockers and whatnot. 2 of them stop on either side of the room at the different suits that are hanging up, and you basically see the sort of spider bots jump onto its face, right, and just the hand the 2 front hand pieces just start mild lasers come out and just and just start stripping it, right, breaking off the pieces, going down to the joints. It's just they're just cleaning things up.
So they're making these suits not usable.
They're treating them like garbage and basically breaking them down into component parts.
Yeah, cool.
And the 3rd is moving towards you, specifically, comms 3, with similar intent, perhaps. So it advances on you very like skittery, and goes to kind of like leap at you. And so I need you to make a
Right.
fray or melee. Your fray is a 70 in this body currently.
Okay.
I'll give you that. Actually, what is your fray normally?
40.
40. I would say like because augments for who you are versus what suit you're kind of wearing currently. So I would say you're going to have a fray of 70. So yeah, I'll go with that.
I did not make it. I got a 96.
Conveniently, it also did not make it.
Oh, good.
So it kind of like you, Penelope, you see this as comms 3 dodges, like, but the intent was to kind of get out of the way, but it ended up like sort of like dodging forward into the path of where this thing would go. But this thing also sort of offshot, so just like this comical, just like. They're like passing each other like spiders jumping in the in this room, and you're like, "Whoa!" It's Comstory. It is your turn.
No, like.
So
There's not a cup big enough.
so they're on there. So I can. Was I able to connect with them on the network?
You have not tried to connect with them in the network. You were, from what the role you did earlier was kind of just feeling your connection to the micronet, right? Like, and seeing what information was coming through that.
I want to attempt to like hack it.
You know, you would only be able to do sort of one of these at a time to a certain extent.
Well, that's sure, and I want to just make it like sleep. Just turn it off. Just say go into rest mode.
Okay, so
and I have this digital speed thing.
That the digital speed is not currently functional in this suit right now.
Gotcha.
But no, I'm aware that you have that for sure. So I'm going to say, so first off, I'm going to need you to do a, this might take you a second, so we'll see how this goes. Give me a network roll. What is your ability? Or do you have networking?
Networking?
Yeah, or make an argument for a skill that you think that you've got might work for this. When you're
System administration and cryptography.
Cryptography is not going to help in this one, but system administration would.
And knowledge administration.
Okay.
I know the codes.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the try system administration. What is your value on it?
80.
Nice. Make me a roll.
Got it. 73.
73. Nice. So that is a double success or super. I forget. I even forget these terminologies
You were
better
fucking
now.
successful.
Well, there's the one that's 33 and above and 66 and above. So you do this fast, and you also get an additional insight on this. So I'm going to say that this is only taking you a their version of a quick action, right, as opposed to a full action. And that's one of the sort of combat pieces. And I think they call it something else besides quick, but I'll give it to this. You recognize that these things are not under the normal administrative functions, right? They've sort of like gone into an emergency mode.
Right.
This is what you piece out of it. Like, there's no, you're not detecting any malicious code. You are seeing, however, that they are in an odd programming loop, right? Like this whole idea that you saw earlier in terms of like clean everything is overriding like any normal like AI functions of like what is good things to obviously break down or not, right? They wouldn't have broken down a suit normally.
So I think they need a better goal.
Right, yeah, they need a better goal, but right now you realize that they are on sort of like a different command structure than they normally are on, and that might take you a little bit to figure out, perhaps, right?
All right.
So I'm gonna say like you still have one like a similar sort of action, maybe not like a full round action, but you've got some other piece, like another little action too that you can do this turn, like move. You can go on dodge.
Yeah, I'll like look for cover. Look to get. Is there any cover? There's no cover. This is like just a.
Nothing that you can get to that they wouldn't also be able to get to. Put it that way.
Right, but okay. So I want to get as much distance as I can without breaking the connection.
Okay. Well, I mean, you at this point you're in the room and you think the connection would be solid within the room. But I'll give you this. Roll a perceive check.
Got a 48, and 60 was my target number.
So you see, at least it occurs to you, right? You notice that there are more of these suits stacked along the wall. That if maybe you move further back in the room, that you might become a lower priority target, possibly for whatever this program is.
Right. Okay.
So like that's your version of cover is like you're kind of like
Yeah.
hiding behind other suits kind of idea, or hiding behind other suits, right?
Gotcha.
No, your turn.
Did Comms3 communicate any of...
Comms 3 was strangely silent for Comms 3.
So I saw it eating the suit. Did you stop it from deconstructing the suit?
No.
Those two are so there's two of them that are sort of like on either
And then
like
they
sides.
they jumped, and then Comms 3 and the other one jumped past each other, and that's all I saw.
Yeah. What's your perceive?
My perceive is OD.
Okay.
But I also...
Yeah, do you have any augments right now? Or or specialized scenarios that might...
Would you have any technology that would allow you to hear like the chatter between robots on a network?
I am quite the network engineer and also have this artificial arm that lets me connect to networks. So my scenario was going to be using my network engineer skill to interface with these maintenance bots, and then
You might be able to do the same thing I'm doing.
and then
Not
use
to
my
mitigate
program to shut them down.
So, but first roll me a perceive check.
All right.
So if you're at 40, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Winning for once.
So the
Yay.
lights in here are that emergency like red, right?
Yeah.
But they're also sort of like pulsating and kind of going between like light and dark, and
Yeah.
not strobe lighty fast, but kind of like slow. So it does, like there are periods of sort of darkness that you're going through. So there's a level of like an odd shell game piece where you're like, oh, these robots look a lot like Comms 3, and it was maybe hard for you to track for a minute, but like you are pretty sure like which one is Comms 3.
Yeah.
And especially as you start like trying to connect to the network. So roll me something for network.
Oh, and last time, like when I initially sleeved into it, I made sure to point out that comms was recognizable, because I knew that this was going to be a problem if there were other bots around.
And you have a speaker attached to you that none of the others
I look
have.
modded.
That's part of what yours represent, right? It's like this is the equivalent of like kind of lower light conditions now, and there's chaos, and so it's not like if you were in a room and things were fine, it would be real easy at a glance.
Yeah.
Right
Like
now,
the
that's just
end-
like, is that shadow? What is that thing that I'm seeing? Keeping track of
So
that.
it's,
But I
it's
can
the
also
end
do
of
it.
Alien, basically.
Yeah.
I do have enough. I have enough access into the network that I can actually like pick out individual bots too, right?
Yeah. So which is what I'm gonna say once you actually make your roll. Like, for
Yeah.
this-
So
depending on how your roll goes.
my network engineer is a 70. So no whammies. That's a whammy.
whammy, but not a critical whammy. So not a good whammy though. So actually, here's kind of what I want to show for this. You access the or you basically get your quick login tapped into the system. Yeah, that's kind
Sweet.
of what this role represents.
Cool. Can I do?
You can still move is about all you have left at this point. You're still close to the entrance that you came in. There is a
Yeah.
robot right next to you that kind of jumped past Comms 3. The other two are maybe like halfway down the room, and there is the sort of like exit door into engineering section at that. You could probably like make it to the door with a move. It's not a terribly large room.
I want to stay on the maintenance bot that jumped past Comms 3 because I have another idea that maybe get robot gross.
I don't even know what that means. I'm down. Thanks, Bill. Just giggles in the background. All right, top of the round, but we are going to pause back around and bring it over to Astrometrics. I was staring at you. I think that's what So you're in the room still with Andine, who's kind of like prepared to help out, to explain anything that comes up, right, and also be there for tracking of any like solar phenomenon when sensors come back online. Hopefully, when sensors come back online. You both start hearing though, sort of like clanging on the door for Astrometrics. Boom. Boom.
This may be speculation again, but I don't think we should open that.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't sound like knocking. It sounds like a distinct banging sound. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. You gonna do anything with that?
I mean, that's literally what I said to Anton.
Don't open the door.
Maybe we shouldn't open that.
Cool. Hey, Master.
Yeah. Let's get robot gross.
Let's get robot gross.
Time to make a robot centipede.
No.
We will space eject you.
I don't understand what's so gross about a robot centipede, though.
It's just a lot of robots stuck together.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of space to oil in that. I just feel like it'd be expensive.
But no, because you're cycling the oil
just
back
plasma.
through, so it's not expensive. It's a
closed cycle. It's so much better for everybody involved.
Oh,
But
God.
then it's not a centipede.
All right, anyways.
Even if
Let's not think about space centipedes too
sorry.
hard right now. Sorry, everybody.
Sorry, let's bring it back.
No, it's still good.
I'll write a
Sorry,
story
not
for you
sorry.
about it.
Mm-hmm. Terrible.
Next Christmas.
So for you make it into like again like you're passing a bunch of maintenance bots that are like kind of just not doing anything. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they're like around.
Yeah.
Because maintenance spots that aren't doing
They're all
anything.
over the ship anyway, doing stuff.
Right, no, I understand.
For
Let me
okay.
Let me finish. But these are maintenance spots that aren't like in a place of rest, just not doing anything.
Yeah, I would say maybe you make an assumption that they're being affected by the power outage.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're not like coming at you.
Cool.
They don't seem to be acting irregular for you, apart from the level of like they are oddly complacent.
Okay.
And usually they're doing stuff. Like little things here or there.
Mm-hmm.
Micro scrubbing the floor to make it pretty. You don't want space grime, but building up. This is not the kind of ship we run.
Can we communicate with each other, or do I have to wait till they're in the room they're going to?
You do not. Yeah, so there is no
'Cause we can't,
interpersonal comms right now. Because one, you've got the interpersonal comm is there, not with you.
Yeah.
But also with the power outage, like there's room-to-room contact, but interpersonal is not supported currently.
Okay. So that was good. I couldn't have told anybody that something was banging on the door. That's what kind of when I was like, wait a second. I should have.
You went, hey, Andine.
I know, right?
You hear that?
Yeah.
Don't open it.
Yeah, don't open that.
It's probably not good. It definitely it definitely sounds like clang, clang.
Yeah, fuck that.
And
Not here for it.
And then silence for a while.
That's
Anyway.
creepy. Like, I feel like it's gonna come in through another entrance, like an alien's.
Or it's gonna weld itself in there. Or cut its way in.
God damn it.
I'm waiting for
terrifying.
the cutting torch. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh,
I only have
I'll
gloves
show
that
you
harden
later.
so I can punch things harder. That was my weapon of choice.
Yeah, but that's not with you right now. That was in the virtual.
Yeah.
No, well, I just picked that for my general weapon, but I guess I wouldn't have it on me when I first wake up.
Nope.
Why would you need weapons? So you make it to elevator shaft. Basically, that would take you up to or like out, right? Like sort of it heads out.
Mm-hmm.
This elevator's up based on or down, I guess, based on gravitational like pieces, right? Actually, no. Hold on a second. No, it would be up because you want to go towards the center axis. Sorry, you don't want like a bridge rolling around like this. I have this actually planned out. Just ups and downs are hard. But the door is not operating. Like,
Fucking
and
sucks.
Charlie's like, how are you climbing things? We need to get up there. And he starts he opens up a panel and starts doing basically a hand winch that, again, you remember from that one day in emergency training that they're like, don't worry, this will probably never happen. But here's how you crank open the elevator shaft if power is out.
Yeah.
I feel like Castor would have all of that memorized.
Yeah, no, it's there.
Well-
It's not far from your brain. I'm just saying.
Right. Well, I'm sorry. I was just looking at if I had to make athletic checks, what that would look like, or free fall checks, or.
You'll see.
All right, great.
Athletics would most likely be the thing.
Okay, cool. I would imagine that at that question, that sort of sudden and not expected question, Castor would be just in the meat suit. And that, but I mean, it's rhetorical, yeah. We know it's rhetorical, but Castor's oh,
Fine.
right. Good thing this one is custom built for me. Yay.
So Charlie goes, do you want to go first?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Charlie starts climbing.
Cool.
And he's doing well. I'd say he's going a bit slow. But it's that flashing sort of red emergency lights, and it's just making sure proper footing, etc. But it is climbing upwards at this point,
Okay.
but into sort of the darkness, the flashes that you kind of see.
Cool. I would definitely pay close attention to where he is moving and holding. And
It's pretty straightforward. It is very much a ladder system. They designed the idea of hey, you're gonna somebody might have to climb up this maintenance spots. There's a track kind of idea.
I still feel to a certain extent there's a certain amount of just sort of again Castor's data collecting, and also how do you do feet, hands? Okay, great.
I haven't had to climb something
Exactly
with a meat suit.
Right.
For I don't know how long.
Yeah. So just sort of watching him is a refresher for them.
Cute. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
How does climb? How does one climb?
Right?
So
How do a climb?
What is your athletic skill?
30.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'll tell you what, because there's a ladder.
Thanks.
I'm basically giving you a situational kind of piece, and you're kind of taking your time with it. You're gonna get plus 20 on that for this roll.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me a athletics of 50 and see what you get.
Okay. Oh God, please don't fall off. 25.
Yeah. So kind of like him, you feel a little uncertain. You feel you're doing it just fine. You're kind of just methodically following after him into the dark, but that's about it.
I would imagine also that to a certain extent, part of getting used to the meat suit is also the difference in ocularness, because when you're in the hold, it just automatically shows you what you want to see, right? But oh, these are flashing lights. What?
Yeah, this is real unpleasant. You're still a little sleeve hungover, and it's just not. You haven't had a chance to nap or have tea or anything like that.
Yeah,
It's
I feel
just
that.
So what's your perceive?
Perceive is 70.
Cool. Roll perceive.
I mean, realistically, that should be easy, but
They're gonna come for you in the shaft. The robots. Why is it gonna be weird? Because I said shaft? It's an elevator shaft, guys. Come on, we're adults.
What'd you roll?
61.
Oh, great. You do hear a sort of
Oh my god.
Oh no.
click 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 on metal, kind of
There you go.
just roll around. That's all. So
No big deal.
back to you two. That one that jumped past you. Do something else real fast.
I need to find the world's biggest glass. And a postcard.
Ooh, right.
Postcard, right?
A really big one.
Yeah.
Yes. Airlock.
So interesting. So the one that jumped past you, kind of like turns, and there's one of the suits right next to it, and it jumps on the suit and kind of just starts like mashing away at it.
Oh, sweet! It ignores me.
The other two finish with the
shaking it.
suit, and you see them turn towards you.
But they're further away.
I'm not okay. They're not acting like logically at the moment. They are targeting barriers that you look dubious.
I question robots that don't act logically, but
Well, by your logic. So here's the thing. It's just
Yeah,
also not
cool.
every suit is there. I'm rolling. There's a percentage.
No, I know.
Sorry, maybe it could have been less, but
I didn't
I
say
gave
it
you one
wasn't
number out of 6,
fun.
and you hit it twice. So
I just said I don't trust robots that don't act.
yeah, you should definitely not trust these robots, Connor. So they're rolling at you, and one of them attempts to leap at you, like at the face.
Oh, sweet. How big are these in comparison to myself?
Rottweiler
Medium-sized
sized
dog?
versus human.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So
Rottweiler spider, robot spider. Hell, Rottweiler sized
I
robot
kind
spider.
of wish we hadn't made them bigger
Ruh-roh.
than cats now
Yeah, it's on you.
that we're fighting
Yeah.
them.
What do I roll
Hindsight.
for?
Like, you tell me what size they should be.
Fucking well.
Pumas. Damn it.
I'm piece of a truck.
Cool.
So I'm rolling Frey, right?
So fray or melee, I believe, whichever one is better for you.
My melee is 30.
Cool. So
Can I roll athletics to dodge?
Nope, because that is what your fray is. Actually, your fray is also your fray divided by 2, 4. No, that's for range. So yeah, you are. It is straight fray or straight melee, I believe. If I'm doing this wrong, sorry, we will correct it at a future date. But this is what I'm calling.
So I'm rolling 55 for Frey.
Cool. Let's do this versus melee for me.
Fuck your melee.
How would you choose
I
which
rolled
one?
an 8.
Okay. So you succeeded, but it also succeeded with an 18, which is a higher value than yours. So
Yeah.
so it does connect.
Sweet, robot gross is about to happen then.
Oh, it's like it's grabbing you. Meanwhile, the other one kind of starts moving towards your feet.
No,
And-
don't do the feet. That's so creepy.
Better
I
in the
hate that.
better in the face.
No, like that's creepy. House of Wax, like you cut the tendon and like people grabbing feet from the stairs and like.
House of
Should it
Wax
go
with
right for the
Paris
butt?
Hilton House of
I don't know,
Wax?
just not the feet. It's
Oh,
creepy.
God.
Like that's so vulnerable because like if you
Versus
just like
your
go.
face.
That's so easy to topple somebody. Anyway, sorry. Clearly, this is something that I am afraid of. We don't need to get into it.
I feel like we're already in
They're all
it.
I know we're in
17.
it. I'm sorry, guys.
Cool.
attention span.
This one misses you.
Cool.
And does not succeed at doing whatever it was doing with your feet, but it is next to you while the other one is up in your grill. At this point, you see it is like of its multi legs, right? 2 of them are like on your right arm, the mechanical arm, and kind of like clenched down a little bit. 2 on the other side, clenched down. Other 2 are kind of still like flailing wildly a little bit, kind of like maybe. Yeah, just who knows. And it's got these little mechanical, like humanoid-ish hands, or still mechanical, but it's more like actual. It's not a hand, right? But it's like
It's got
robotic.
mechanical pedipalps.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, I'm gonna
Word of
look
the
that
day.
up.
Yeah. You better turn on incognito mode. Don't ask questions. So and those are kind of like in your face right now.
Yeah.
And you see, like sort of at the center of them, little like glowing red kind of laser ports starting to kind of heat up. But that's where it's ending right now. Concentrate, it's your turn. It's like coming in towards your eyes, basically.
Yeah. Penelope is being rather vocal about needing some help and perhaps get this thing off me so I can fry its data port.
Ooh,
Rude.
dirty.
I said
I'm
robot
joking.
gross.
I know. As dirty as you wanted to be. Yes.
Okay. I will go over and
Do you require assistance?
assistance is forthcoming. So
I don't want to have a conversation about it. Just get it off of me.
So I have a pretty good idea of like what its most vulnerable place is, right? And do I
Yes.
have the cutting torch or something like that it would have, or a clamp or whatever? I don't know what you've given me as far as tools.
Mechanical pedipalps with lasers.
Yeah, cutting torch, cutting lasers. Is basically what they are. I mean, they're not like pew 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 lasers, right? They're very close range, like kind of idea.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on one that's like closest to a sensitive human part.
There's one.
And
I'm all sensitive human part.
yeah, and
I love the way you phrase that.
and then I'm going to
Except for my arm, which
I'm going
is
to
so
try
sensitive.
to blind it.
I gotcha. So you're going for its sensor package.
Yeah.
It, anything can be heard.
It's true. We're in the gutter
We're in the
tonight.
fucking gutter. I was just thinking that.
tonight?
Just can't even say shaft in this room.
Just me.
So
It's just me.
So what kind of a
three
check
of
is
us
this? Is this a
rolled
gun
balls
check?
and
Or?
nuts.
So
for 3
this
weeks,
thing,
so.
it's close range enough, right? That this thing is basically like you have to
That's fair.
get up on it, which I'm gonna actually make you do an athletics check because right now it's on top of a human that's flailing a little bit, and
Am
it's
I
flailing.
still standing?
Yeah.
Well,
good,
what?
good,
I don't have any athletics because
So then I'm gonna have
You-
two. If another Rottweiler jumps on me, I'm gonna go down. Like that's just physics.
What's hold on a second. What is your on that note? What is your athletics?
50?
50.
I'll roll for it and see if
I'll
I
say
stay
roll for
up.
it. See whether it's actually tackled you or not. Just more just like whether you can hold the weight and whether you go down.
3.
You're holding the weight. It's not easy, but you're definitely holding this thing up. So you, what's the connected skill for athletics? I think it's a somatic.
Yeah.
So what is your somatic skill?
5.
Yeah, interesting. So
So that actually be 70.
yeah, so I'm gonna give you. There's some situational pieces. You've got the robot legs that also do a bunch of things. I'm basically gonna give you a check of 40 to try and like get up on this thing so you can do the attack. Kind of the same way that it had to like tackle Penelope to actually get up there for the sort of like attack.
Right.
So give me a roll of 40.
Nope. Got an 82.
Ooh, so here's what ends up happening. You are crawling up towards it. You didn't quite get up like on it, but you are crawling up Penelope to get to it. Penelope, make another athletics check. Now that you have a second one on you.
Penelope is feeling rather
At a minus 10,
at
so you're at
this
a
point.
for 40 is what I'm looking for here.
I rolled another 3.
You were a beast. So the other one's legs are kind of flailing. Because you stumble a little bit as comms 3 starts coming up you. Like,
I am here to assist you.
run right off full roads. And you're like, and you
You're
kind of
not
stumble.
doing the best job.
You stumble forward a little bit, and this thing's like the flailing legs kind of like latch onto the wall a little bit. You hear thoof, thoof, like magnetically, so it's bracing you a little bit, and you kind of like keep yourself upright. So actually, it's not trying to tackle you, right? It's just like it itself is looking for stability, and it helps
Looking
you stay
for
up.
stability while it tries to burn out my face.
It's just taking out the trash. Sorry.
I'm not
Purchase.
trash.
No,
I
I don't
might-
think you are. I'm just like
I might be
Experiment.
Hold on.
better served trying to hack into them.
conveniently it's Penelope's turn. So
Yeah, especially because I can't move my arms at this point because they're being held by.
it's got you on his shoulder. You can do some things. I don't know.
I'm basically yelling at you through this speaker.
Which is real close to you. It's on you.
You're
The
doing a
speaker is
great
on you.
job.
I'm killing it.
Literally.
Killing it.
Literally.
Mhm.
I'm trying to decide if I want to try and hack it again or if I want to just shove a hairpin in a data port and short it out.
A hairpin. I love it.
No,
High
it's
tech.
hairpin.
No, I know you have hairpins. I'm just thinking like, it is the 23rd century and cyberpunk dystopian future. Hairpin.
If she gets really serious, she's gonna stab him with a knitting needle.
I love it.
But that's like, you don't want to waste a good knitting needle. So that like
Yeah,
really takes a.
she's really serious about her knitting needles.
But that shows how much you get.
Not my
there,
titanium knitting needle.
Oh, titanium's real bad for knitting needles.
Yeah.
There's no flex.
Oh, so-
Yes, I would like to grab a
Okay, learn
hairpin and shove it in a data port on this robot and try and chart it out. So, what would you like me to roll?
Melee.
Conk squeeze into it.
Awkward.
What is your melee?
My melee would be
Is this robot gore?
this times 3, so my melee would be 30.
Okay. Wait, what times 3? If it's skill, it's just straight up. It's not a melee check. Or not a,
Oh. So then 10?
Poor. What is your hardware? Do you have any hardware skill?
Personal.
My hardware skill is 20. Did I have a specific hardware skill?
Usually it's electronics.
I didn't. No, because mine is mostly digital, so I didn't pick a specific hardware
I
skill.
don't do hardware. much.
Yeah. How gauche.
It's knitting. That's your hardware skill.
Mhm.
Checks out.
Yeah, a little bit.
Checks out.
So I mean, hear what I'm saying. It's like it's a little easy because it's easier because it's on you, and it's not like really trying to avoid the thing, and so it's still kind of naturally moving around, so it's not going to be easy. So I'm going to give you your hardware skill because it's kind of like you're narrowing in on like the right spot to hit it as opposed to a melee check, but you're basically making a melee. But I'm going to give you your hardware skill plus 10.
So 30?
So 30.
Because you're really good at finding a drop stitch, so you just really know how to hone in on a point.
11.
Oh, it rolled a 15, which means it dodged just a little bit. It beat your roll. Sorry. It is very difficult for this thing that is coming towards your face to like.
I just wish
to
I was
shake it a little
there
bit.
to see this dance. Oh.
To see this.
Speaking of that,
No, but like this one sounds extra nice.
yeah, that's good. What's TS on the board up there?
Truth Seeker.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't roll into it.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of just doing like different locations for some things. So that clanging is stopped. But you do see a spot on the door that is starting to glow.
Okay, is there anything in the room that I can pick up to defend myself? Like, what's in the room besides the chairs and the table?
Perceive?
What's his butt?
Andine?
And
Yeah.
What am I gonna hit the robot with Andine? Or
There
use
you
him as a
go.
shield? That as a shield?
meat shield.
Truth
So
seeker.
I would do that.
roll a perceive.
Okay. My perceive is 80.
Okay.
It's a 98.
Here's what I'm going to give you. The only thing that occurs to you is that there are chairs in the room that you were sitting in earlier,
Okay.
and a table. That's really about that's all that comes to mind for you with a 98.
Cool.
The things that you have already interacted
Basically
with.
gonna turn to Andine and be like, so I think that we really need to prepare to defend ourselves at this point. I don't know exactly what's happening, but this is not gonna be good.
Concerned.
Do you have a gun or a weapon or anything like that on you? By chance?
Andine looks at you and goes, "We don't.
Is there no standard issue weaponry on this ship?
What are we gonna fight?
Each
There are
other?
no guns on a ship.
No.
No,
Not guns,
we don't
like
get
a weapon.
projectile weapons. What? Well, for what?
You're useless.
This-
We're gonna die. I just got recrusted into a human, and why would you expect me to have a weapon? Come on, like we're gonna die.
I never said anything
This
about
is-
you having a weapon. It's possible that somebody is
Guns
coming
on
in
spaceships are
to
bad
like
ideas.
I don't know.
Excuse
rescue
me,
us?
is anyone out there? Hello?
Spot,
Yeah, it's not anyone, Andine. We're fucked.
Spot gets a little brighter. And you're clang.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be mean to Andine. True Seeker does not do well in bad situations.
Oh, you start fracturing.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck.
And then looks at you like you're very abrasive.
That's my truth.
Nice.
That's pretty good. Also, I am not. By the way, while we're here, I am not a fan of the that you shared. You were in this situation because of you, by the way, and I am well aware of that.
People deserve the truth, Andine.
And you now maybe have threatened the existence of all humanity with that truth. Congratulations.
Humanity's existence is already threatened. Arguably, I saved more of us. We can talk about that later, though.
Well, if we end up getting deleted.
Well, we're already in suits, so we're less likely to get deleted. We must be final killed as
Pretty
well.
sure you can delete directly from the stack.
Whoa.
Caster just wanted to let you know.
You pipe in real fast, right?
Hey, just so you know.
FYI.
We made it to the pilot room.
Right?
I built in a thing. I got a back door.
Protect your stack.
Oh my god, you're the last serial killer. It's Caster.
So
There's gotta be
Caster,
one.
Yeah.
y'all are in the elevator shaft,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like still hearing like that like as something is like skittering up the shaft.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, you see Charlie kind of like pause for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, maybe, and it sounds like some maintenance bots. He's like, maybe they are, I don't know, rerouting. I'm not sure what they would be doing in the shaft. They're typically not in the elevator shafts. Ooh. Nice, good job for Charlie. But he's like, I don't know, this seems pretty irregular. I think we should probably like get up out of here pretty fast. And you see him. He rolled a critical, and he just starts like booking it up. Like he's kind of like he's looking very competent at it now. He's like feels like okay, we've been climbing this for a little while. Like the ladder feels fine. Like we got still several like kind of decks to go, and just starts like hauling.
Cool.
Like a little nervously, but he's like very confident.
Mm-hmm.
What's your perceive again? I think it's high, wasn't it?
Yeah, 70.
Cool. Roll it again.
Okay. Oh god. Sweet. 67.
Oh, great. So you can see that there are 3 maintenance bots crawling up the shaft kind of below you. So you see it's kind of like darkness, and you see like bright, and you see like, and then darkness,
Okay.
and then you see them closer, climbing up. What do you do?
It's a real horror movie.
So,
They're gonna go for your feet.
I mean, that's the way that's called.
I know, but
It's just the orientation of the room. This is 3D space. I know it's hard.
So you're also, to give you perspective, you're on like of the sort of box of the shaft, right?
Uh-huh.
You are on one wall with ladders, and they are on the 3 other walls, kind of like in the center of them, like just climbing straight up.
Okay. So since we've been climbing for a while, and like Caster's been watching Charlie, basically what Caster does at seeing this, quickly decides that Charlie definitely has the best possible idea, because Caster has no weapons on this meat suit. Also, how does one weapon on a ladder? Listen.
Easily.
So Caster just focuses in on like body motions and like moving up that ladder as quick as possible and efficiently as possible and safe, whatever that means right now.
Cool. So roll athletics, and we'll give you a plus 20 because you can do this roll that.
Great.
Which is what normally for you now.
Oh, that's gonna be a 50.
50?
Yeah.
Good.
Oh, fuck. Yes. Wait, is that a 10? What is that? Help. It's
That's
a 10.
a 10.
Great. I got a 10.
Nice. So you are like booking it, but Charlie is outpacing you.
Okay.
Like you're climbing, but you're not doing it especially like
Makes sense.
nothing special.
Yeah.
Just like okay, and
Right.
you definitely like occasionally look over like down a little bit. Like what's happening is like you're climbing. Charlie is kind of just like pop, 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 pop,
Right.
pop.
Well, this is also his job.
Yeah. He's been doing it more recently than you.
Yeah.
You're kind of like climb, 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 look down and flash and see robots below you, and then climb, 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 flash and see robots. So you're a little
Right.
slower.
Sure.
You are certainly making it up.
Yeah.
So top of the round, maintenance robots. Ooh. So the one that's on you, actually, like its hind legs push off a little bit from the wall, and sort of like causing you to stumble backwards a little bit. And they actually latch onto comms 3 that is climbing up, and it releases you and kind of like drops down into a roll on comms 3.
I still feel like this would be bad for Penelope in this situation.
I mean, it's you're gonna take a little bit of damage as it pushes you. Well, if depending on how about this, make a reflex check.
Okay. And like, is it rolling into me? Is it rolling away?
It's kind of like it's pushing off the wall. That's where like its legs were to get purchase, and that's what this is representing. It's like you're kind of being thrown a little bit, but it basically drops off of you.
I got a 24 out of 45.
Great, you got it. So you are going towards kind of like a bench where people would like stop to put on the suits that might have like toppled you and like knocked ahead or something along those lines. But I would say you kind of like buried your foot down and kind of like grabbed it with your arm and kind of like quickly stopped yourself from falling, so you didn't take any damage. But you are free from it right now.
Sweet.
I'm gonna deal with you in a moment.
I'm gonna deal with you.
You see one of the other ones like turn to another suit and kind of go, but the third one you see it from across the room kind of like turn towards like the motion that just happened, and it starts like skittering over towards you. But from where it is,
the one went that way. The one was on me,
which is now on comms 3,
and is on comms 3, and then the third one is coming here. I can't keep track of mechanical spiders.
Yeah, well, the flashing, that shell game is happening, right? In fact, you're not sure which one is which in the flashing. Currently, that are rolling around each other, apart from one's like, I'm helping! I don't know, whatever's happening over there.
Pretty much.
At least I can still sort of see network IDs.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes they're a little overlapping right now. It's problematic. You know which tumble pile they're in. So yeah, give me that same. So this one's actually dodging at you. So give me like a fray divided by 2 check. So it's kind of like diving at you.
So 23.
Let's just round up to 25.
25. 19.
Nice. It misses you.
Fucking right, it misses me.
Mm-hmm. And comes 3. The one that's on you is already sort of like, since you were like next to it already there. It doesn't have to latch on, right? It is already sort of like there with you. It moves to attack. So give me your. This one's gonna be a melee, because it's basically on you. So give me. What is your melee skill? Actually,
you said 70, right?
That was for Frey. Your melee is 50.
Okay.
I'm reading off its stats for you. Right?
Okay, 50.
Yeah.
Cool. So roll me a 50.
Nope,
I like
62.
your madness.
Ooh, it rolled an 18, so it definitely connects. So it starts basically like cutting at one of the joints of your, what's that word?
Pedipalp.
Pedipalp. It's not that. Cutting at like the joints of one of those, kind of like trying to sever that joint currently. And so
Rude.
yeah, I know.
Your pedipalps to yourself.
I mean, there's like mouth parts.
So you are taking.
Not always.
Okay, you got
They're
a
the
little bit on you.
specialized parts on the arachnid.
14
but
points
they're the
of
little
energy
thing.
damage, but because you have a basically a carapace for you, you actually have an armor rating of 14 for energy. So it's starting to heat up the metal for you, but you're surprisingly, or not surprisingly perhaps, the maintenance spot seems to be well equipped for hostile scenario or conditions, including like welding torches and stuff and the heat. So it seems like it is not currently having any luck making it through that. But so you take no damage, but it's like trying to hurt you right now.
Right.
Your turn.
I'm going to attempt to hack into this one.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Tell me how you are thinking about doing that.
Would this be like infosec
No, that is less hacking.
interface?
I would say that would be interfacing in this case.
Okay, I have 80s in both.
Perfect. That works really well. Roll
It's
me
the 80s
something.
over here.
It didn't really matter, ultimately.
38.
Oh, nice. So, let's see what I've got here.
Oh yeah, because they have 4.
And I also have programming
Yeah.
as well.
They have the big medium.
Nice. We'll say like this is getting into it,
Also
and
for the
programming will be
record,
doing
it's a
something about it
mistake.
later. Let's see. You rolled a what?
38.
38. Cool. So you succeed interfacing with it. I would say actually, like
I'm
what
sorry.
you recognize is that
it tastes
this
fine.
bot is on you, and you could go through the local network, but you think that it would be easier to basically like directly interface with. So you've got basically like a one of your appendages penetrates its port.
Yay, robot gross.
we're coupling.
You're coupling. You were coupled. You were having spider sex, robotic spider sex, over this. You look so gleeful about it.
I mean, it's
I'm
the
so
first
happy.
time.
oh
first time.
Lost your virginity over here.
Oh, not consensually though. It's fine.
Also, this is what Penelope was going to do at first before she went for the hairpin to just short it out, but she's now going to do the same thing. So,
Oh, that's how you do it.
well, no, she was trying to save some data and power in the arm.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
So you rolled a 38. Cool. So that also means that you did it faster than expected. So you can actually do a programming check right now. What are you trying to do? Kill all humans. That was some meat suity grumbles going on.
Somebody's fucking hungry.
For those, you probably, I'm guessing it didn't show up on camera, but it was just like the hounds of Hades.
I
So
want
did
to.
it kind of
I,
feel like it was
I want to
that
order
critical?
it to go off and start deleting people out of. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to restrain.
Okay, so
Oh, good.
I'm going
I
to
have
restrain the urge
no
to do
problems
this.
telling you that was my stomach. It didn't hurt, nor was it upset. It was very odd. It was just like, oh,
Oh, I just assumed somebody
This
was
is a very
hungry. That
tense
was very,
situation.
no.
Or it's like, ooh, robot sex? That's what I think your stomach sounds like.
Okay, so what I'm really going to do is just give it an order that everything is clean.
Task complete.
Task complete. Exactly.
All right, roll your programming.
Oh, but I did not do it.
I don't know. Did you fail on that?
I got a 95.
clean faster is what you accidentally said.
All right, so you're linked into it. It's coming at you, but you are still jacked in. So, but just nothing has been affected yet.
Yeah, I'm getting that
Penelope.
I'm trying to break through a firewall, and it keeps saying access denied. But I think I can get it.
So there are currently none on me.
Correct.
But there's one close.
Yeah. That leapt by you and missed.
Yeah. We're gonna go fist first into a data port and try and deprogram it.
Robot girls.
Now it's
Which fist?
You
robot
fist that
fisting.
robot.
Fist first.
Fist first.
It's multiple fists.
The artificial
Talk about
one, the one that I can.
I had to choose in case you forgot and you're like, it was my left hand. I'm like, well, you hit it with flesh. I don't
No, my right hand.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah.
All right, so you got to do. I'm gonna make you do an. Okay, hold on. What are you trying to do?
We're trying to not even reprogram. We're just trying to overload its program and shut it down. So
Okay.
we're gonna give it like a nice big. We have a couple trash files that we keep on hand for such things.
Oh, you want trash? I'll give you trash.
Yeah, so we're gonna just overload it with.
It's all the Star
with
Wars
garbage.
content that now exists 300 years later in the future, and it's so
Or
much content.
It's still
that
going.
it's
Tell
just,
tell it that it's the trash, so that it starts disassembling itself.
Step at
Oh my
time.
god, clean.
Okay, so here's the thing. You kind of know. I'm gonna give you a little just insight about yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're not good at touching it, right? Necessarily, it's not on you anymore, and even that was kind of difficult. So
Yeah.
maybe porting in the way that Comms 3 did is not going to work out so well, but you can probably still over the network. But that's going to require like some network or
Okay. I mean, if we
interface
can
checks
network without touching it, I would much prefer that.
Yeah.
It's an easier way to dump trash files.
What is your network score?
You're dropping shit on this robot?
My network engineering is a 70, and my basic program is a 45.
Okay. So right now, because there's the weird, like the local networks, like things are not quite in the same way. So you're going to be at a -20 for that. So you're gonna have, like, basically it's a harder, and you're kind of in the midst of like, combat. Right?
So you want me to use my...
No. So you just basically it's going to be a 70 -20. So it's going to be 50 is going to be like the value for your success, right?
Okay. I rolled a 70.
So you're running into basically some firewalls for it, like in that it's protected currently from you.
Yeah.
Once we're running that round,
Damn it.
hey, you're trying. That door is surprisingly unattended in the far end of the hall. By the way, now that all these robots are down here having a cuddle puddle, struggle snuggle.
Can I move and dive through the door and close it?
You can move to the door. That's all you got right now.
All right. We're going to go for the door.
Bye. Robotic struggle snuggle.
I know the doors don't help, but if I can get some space and I can hack through this shit.
So you see, to you now, that there is definitely like what is what you're interpreting is sort of like a welding like torch coming through that is like cutting out a semicircle around the lock for the door. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? It looks like it's about halfway done at this point. It's going to take maybe another couple minutes to get through.
This is hard because I feel like, based off my character, like I wouldn't really know 100% what's going on or like how to handle it. So, like,
I mean, this is great. This role playing.
I don't
You're doing
really
a good
know
job.
anything about robots, like, you know what I mean, or like I don't really know anything about the way that they work on this ship either. So, like, do I know this is a robot? Like, you know what I mean?
You know that there are robots with the capability for welding. This could be, a human with a torch.
Probably not.
Could be a creature with a torch. I mean, something.
I would also
Is there-
imagine that there'd be a certain amount of like, you would upload information about the ship that would have been part of your onboarding process.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you have any questions about things? Yeah.
It could be a squid with 4 torches.
With the
Just wants to
systems,
hug you.
with the systems that we have running in this room right now, Andine, is there any way to, like, stop this robot from coming into this room? Like, can we hack into the computer or not hack in, but go into the computer and, like, tell the robot to stop? Is there a way to make it stop?
All networks seem to be down at the moment in terms of like what this room has access to. In terms of that, I don't think there's any way to stop this robot here, at least until like we can like if it's a robot or many robots. I don't know.
Is there another door in this room?
No, this is it. I mean, there's hatches to the sort of like, I don't want to use the word Jeffrey's tubes, but trademark. But like the maintenance like pathways, like sort of like around like we could maybe get into like some of the ventilation system basically, or some of like the wires, but that's not like super comfortable. It's designed for maintenance robots to move through that. Humans can fit, but I don't. I mean, it's probably just a misunderstanding. I don't. Well, it's probably just some malfunction is trying to get in the room to like fix something in here.
I've made it this far in my life by always assuming the worst. I have a feeling
that
this is going to be
sounds
bad.
exhausting.
The truth is exhausting.
God, I love you. The truth will set you free.
I was gonna say I feel like it's energizing for some. Are you exhausted?
It's both.
All right.
Seeking the truth is exhausting.
Hold on, metagame conversation.
Yeah, we're not in the same room, okay?
Yeah, whoa.
All I said was,
Well, we know how loaded that is, Penelope.
Like Penelope's literally from like down the hall.
She doesn't know why.
She doesn't know why. She just had the urge. It was time.
The urge, I love it.
The urge to sass.
So that's where that conversation ends, at least for y'all.
Okay, Yeah, I don't really know what to do. Yeah, cool. I'm chilling.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Love messing with you. So let's see how's our buddy doing? Okay. He's back to kind of like he's still climbing pretty efficiently and heading up, doing pretty well.
Cool.
But he's like, are those? You hear him kind of like calling back because he's like ahead of you now. He's like a bit up there. He's like, are those maintenance robots? Can you see? Because he can't see from that far up.
I do. Castor does their best to like try to control the vocal cords of the meat suit to give just a very like direct sort of like straightforward answer, but it kind of comes out more like yeah.
He's like, that's really odd. But you see him get up to a door up there. Like he's kind of like a ways at you. He was like really hauling it up last round. And you see him like kind of starting that cranking process again. Like it's not quite opening, but he seems like he's struggling with it at the moment. Do it better. I need you to make an athletics roll, assuming you're still climbing.
Yeah.
Not stopping and giving up.
Great.
Giving in to the robots.
Not yet. I mean, will they take the meat suit? Can I just go back to anyway?
This could be happening in the hold too. We don't fucking know.
Yeah, that's true.
If they clean the meat suit, they clean the stack.
Maybe. Maybe they're programmed to care for the stack. All right. So athletics is
We're cleaning environmental suits. So.
is 30. I just want to make sure I'm doing it right.
You're getting a good plus 20 like for that.
Oh, okay,
so.
got it. So 50. We're still doing the 50s.
Still giving you a 50.
Okay, great.
Ooh, doubles.
83.
83?
I thought that was 33.
Wait, was it?
I saw 33.
Was it that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make you roll again. Sorry, just because you
No,
threw
you're
it
fine.
and didn't see it.
You're
but
fine. You're fine.
just pause and stare, see what you got.
70.
70? Okay.
I liked 33 better.
We all did.
Also
It was
like
a
33
critical
better.
success.
So you kind of as you're climbing up, because you didn't roll a critical miss right on it, but you go to like put your foot down on the rung, but you're kind of looking at them like I tell you before, and you kind of like put your foot through like the ladder instead of like on the rung, so you kind of stumble.
Sure.
Right, and it like hurts a little bit. You didn't like there's nothing like critically went wrong with it, but it definitely like stops you from making the progress you'd expect. And these robots are not stopping.
Sure.
And they're just like inevitably like crawl, and they get up to the height of your feet.
Okay.
I'm gonna pause and stare initially.
Don't do it.
And at this point, like you feel yourself surrounded by these things, and just like these masses of metals that have just been like crawling up the walls towards you.
Okay.
And that's where we're gonna end for tonight.
Eight-legged freaks, dude. We just step into eight-legged freaks, and you're David fucking Arquette, and you're trying to climb that tower to get a
That
signal
movie?
out,
Yeah.
and you're gonna die.
No, or better yet, Tom Selleck in Runaway.
Oh,
haven't seen
good
that.
reference.
Yeah, little robots like
and the ones
that.
going over his feet,
And
too.
Gene Simmons was the bad guy who was programming all
That's
the
already fucked.
robots to attack him.
Can we just say screamers?
Screamers,
Right?
yes.
We're going to carry on this sci-fi horror conversation off camera, but we love you all. Thanks for showing up and joining us for the Trappist Transfer, an Eclipse Phase homebrew campaign produced by Critical Missfits Entertainment. You can find us on YouTube as well as wherever you choose to get your podcasts, audio podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, etc. And be sure to subscribe. We really would love that, and rate us wherever you listen to us. That helps us get more viewers. That helps us make this great content for you. Thanks for helping us out. If you like what you've heard, be sure to check out our other show, the Terra Sentia series, next Thursday on Twitch,
Come
as
watch
well
me
as on
die.
YouTube and iTunes.
You're not gonna die. We're gonna save you.
It's going to be great. Thanks to our viewers. Thank you to our patrons on
Spoilers.
Patreon. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.